What is going on, guys? I am the Veteran Miner, and we have GPURisers. What is going on, everyone? Sorry for the delay. We had some issues with, I think, a microphone, as usual. But if we didn't have issues, it would just be too easy. So
yeah, it would just be too straightforward.
Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate everybody tonight. Let's do a roll call really quick. The Travels, Nick Riley, 100 Air, Homebrew Crypto, Automatic Beats, Grumpy Sarge Mining, Burn, Crypto Craig, Max Voltage Mining and Crypto. Who wants simple of obnoxious poker at the Veteran Miner tonight? Come on, pretty please. I missed that guy. LOL. Geek of All Trades, Ben Harvlilla. So bad with names. Edible Zebra. Wow, we have a lot of new names here tonight too.
Yeah.
Triple Nickel Technologies, DJ Mines in the house. Yeah, welcome everybody. So we have been very, very busy on the business front. You know, myself and of course Vistang. So Mike, I guess you can start it off of what's going on. What have you been doing lately, and then we'll tag on to what I've been doing.
Computer.
Your computer, yeah.
It's always something. It's like I built a new computer too, like recently. There's a 7800 X3D in it, a 4090, all this fast RAM and all this stuff because I was having the USB issues with the camera, and then last week, or no, I think it was Friday, I was having camera issues, and then today my mic's not working, my beautiful mic. But it's working now.
Everybody likes that mic. Comment below how much you loved Vistang's mic.
Yeah, look at that Tyrone mic. Yeah, thanks, Goat. It like my computer mutes the mic. Like in Windows, it'll mute the mic, and there's like I don't know how it happens, but and then I restarted the computer and it wouldn't turn back on. So it's today's one of those days. But it's been busy. I know Dave's been busy. I gave him a call this morning, like, hey, you remember those wires that we need? We need them like Friday. So
love that call. That was a fantastic call this morning. Yeah. Right before I got my hair cut. Got my hair did. Oh yeah, looks sharp. I need to do something. I'm gonna grow mine out, but you can see it's getting really bad. But we'll see. I don't know. So
I'm
anyway,
going up to the data center Saturday. We got word from PNY that we have a partial shipment of 4090s coming in. By partial, we have 10. So we're going to be building 2 rigs, but it's complicated. Like the build out that we're doing, right? It's like
oh my god.
It's 5 different cables that I think we need on it, because we need CPU to VGA that are custom that Dave's making, and then we also I'm sharing it now, Dave, if you want to throw it up on the screen. But
let's get into that right there. There we go. Oh my god, flashbang. How do you change
Sorry, it's bright. I don't know if this website is dark mode, but this is a company out of Germany that does slim SAS adapters. And for anyone that doesn't know slim SAS adapters, it's
very sassy.
Slim SAS, I think, is a connection that's found in servers. It's basically what gets you to have GPUs off of the motherboards, and I'm sure slim SAS is used for other things as well, but in this case we're using slim SAS for 4090s, and they are expensive, but we bought 45 or 50 sets of these things to be able to do the 4090s off of the motherboard without having redriver issues and all this stuff. So
it's a true X16 because it's getting powered up and it's designed for that application specific.
Yeah. So it's basically a riser. It's like a
very
full
aggressive
riser.
Yeah, aggressive.
Yeah,
riser.
It's like a 16x. Actually, these are 8x. Actually, it's 8x and 16x. You need 2 slim SAS connectors from both the connection on the board and the riser.
Right.
Long story short, the problem is when we ordered everything from Dave, we were going to use ribbon cables, right? That was like the brilliant idea. We tested ribbon cables. It did not work. We were having bandwidth issues and everything like that. We were testing, I think, 5 3090s.
Right.
So all the AI guys use this. We knew it. We knew that this was probably the route to go. We just thought ribbon cables would work. But when we ordered all the cables and did the design of the overall build, we were using every port on these two EVGA 1600 watt power supplies for each one. And we forgot about, or not forgot about, we just didn't realize we had to use these, and these are powered. Just like a normal riser, there's a 6-pin on these. The problem is we don't have an available 6-pin.
We don't have any more ports. We utilize every single port, from converting a CPU port to a PCIe port to the CPU to CPU and a dual CPUs on the motherboard. We're using two 1600 watt power supplies, and basically we're not using to its full potential, but we're utilizing every single port like Mike was saying. So therefore, you're able to use two 1600 watt power supplies for 5 4090s. You can't normally do that if we weren't able to integrate the other wires. And on top of that, now that we need 5 extra 6-pins, that's when I came into play, and Mike told me today, he's like, yeah, I wonder if you could do them today and ship them out tomorrow. I was like, oh my God, absolutely. It's not like I'm busy or anything like that. Fantastic. So we could show
basically
it.
every 4090 needs 4 dedicated 8-pins.
God.
I mean, you could split it if you want, but we're not doing that.
Right.
And so one of the dedicated 8-pins now is going to be pretty much a splitter that powers the one of them will power one of the 4 8-pins on the 4090. And I feel like we've been saying this all day, Dave. But
well, we've been talking about it all day.
Dave made a custom cable that will power both the 8-pin and the 6-pin for this Slim SAS riser.
So this is what it is. So what we're trying to explain here is, let's start on this side here. So this is the 8-pin that plugs into the EVGA power supply. I hope you guys can see. You know what? Let's just put it on me for 1 second, right? See if we can do that. Okay. This is the 8-pin right there, right? But what we needed was a 6+2 pin for the graphics card, right? For the 4090, and a 6-pin. So you guys can see there, we have a 6+2 pin and a 6-pin all in one cable, basically just utilizing everything. So yeah, this was really, really crazy what we had to do, and it's a lot of work because you see the heat shrink and everything else. But yeah, that's what had to happen. So we're back on there. Yeah, I just wanted to show it in the big screen there.
Yeah, no, it's a great cable. It fixes the problem that we were going to kind of come into with this. But I see Max is asking, how long does it take to get those risers? We ordered them, I want to say Monday, and they're getting delivered tomorrow. And we ordered a lot. Like I said, we ordered 45 of these risers that you see here, but then for each one you need so yeah, we ordered those, and then we ordered these redriver ones too. Actually, I think we just ordered these.
So what's the purpose for that? That's getting plugged into the PCIe slot on the motherboard, right, Mike?
Yeah. And then you use these cables, because I was talking to the owner of this company, really nice guy, and he was kind of like helping us with it. But and then you have to order these cables. So think of it as like these cables are kind of like the USBs and regular risers. So we had to order 90 of these because, and I think we did 75 centimeters, but if you use one cable, it's going to be 8x. If you use 2 cables, it'll be a full 16x 4.0 with the super micro boards and the epics that we're using. So that's what we had to order, and there's not really a way around this to do this a different way. Like I said, we tried the ribbon cables, had some errors with that kind of throwing off and everything. So there's a reason why all these AI guys, because you could go into like the vast Discord and you can see like people's setups, like it's like rig pictures, right? And like Panda's Discord and stuff, where people will post pictures of their machines, and there's a reason why all these guys pay the extra money for these things. And so the ribbon cables will work for some applications, I think, but not multi GPU rigs like this. And so that's the route we're going. I could throw up also the other motherboard, the Tech America or something. Let me pull this up. Yeah, this is the website. Yeah, let me throw this one up here. I bought one of these personally. I think Terra may go this route. This is something that I got to talk with King more.
Is this the 8 card?
Yeah.
Okay. Want me to add this right now, or you good?
You could throw it up.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like the Rome board. They have a couple different ones, but this is a dual epic one, and we've been kind of pushed towards this board. I bought one just so I can kind of like mess around with it. And what's nice about this board is you can see right here. It's okay. Well, you can see on the bottom right here, it has the Slim SAS connectors right here.
Oh, plug and play. So that means you don't need. You're not going to need that the PCIe to Slim SAS on the motherboard side. Then you just need So that's another component. How much are those?
These are 1144, so it's like 1200 or 1250 or something with shipping. It's not too bad, but the problem is that, you know, like the Epic boards that I get now with an Epic and with the RAM is a couple $100 more than this. So if you want to buy this, you have to also buy the 2 Epics and you have to buy the RAM. And if you're planning on putting 8 cards on this, especially just say 8 4090s, for example, you need a shit ton of RAM and you need probably pretty beefy Epics.
What is it max out? What's the RAM max out on that board?
The setup I was looking at doing with this, which I kind of decided not to. And again, I want to talk with King a little more about this. Tomorrow he's going to be on the road most of the day, so I'll probably bug him. But this is kind of like our phase 2, right? You know, with what we're doing with Terra.
Right.
But the setup I had a terabyte of RAM, and it was dual 64 core, 128 thread Epics. So they're pretty heavy duty Epics. But it's like I said, it's expensive. You're buying this board, and then the terabyte of RAM is about $2,000, and each Epic's about $1,000.
Does the board max at a terabyte or no?
I don't know. I know that that's a high end one. You could do 512 if you wanted to, but
512 wouldn't make sense with 8 4090s.
It might. Like if you look at Vast and stuff like that, there are some on there. But the one thing I don't know about this is, you know, well, not that I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that you can only do 4.0 8x on this because there's only 8 Slim SAS connectors here, unless I'm not reading this right, and these are Slim SAS connectors to the right of the horizontal ones. I don't know if they are, but I do know that whenever I look up this board on Vast and stuff like that, a lot of the cards are 8x 4.0, which is not like, we've been told like that's fine, right? Like a 4090, like that's fine, you know, for a lot of these applications, these AI applications. But
right,
you know, we don't want to swap over to 5090s and be throttling at that bandwidth limit. Not saying that will happen with the 5090s, but we kind of want to future-proof this part of it as much as we can, and then just swap GPUs as new ones come out.
You know, you're saying 5090s doesn't even sound right. 4090s sound good. 5090s, just hear the way that's worded. 5090s.
Yeah. 5090 Super TI. I don't know how they're
Super TI.
Do the naming stuff, but
they're probably gonna be like 5090s Extreme.
Yeah. So
remember that Extreme.
Yeah. Jesus. And then you also, with more GPUs, you need more like space or hard drive space. So you know, you're gonna have to put, you know, an 8 terabyte NVMe on this thing. That's gonna cost at least $1,000. You know, or $850 plus tax for like a really shitty one. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like you're already spending so much money on every other part of it. Why save a couple $100 on this? You know what I mean? And once you go down that rabbit hole with a build like this, it's, I don't know what the right answer is. Because you save a little bit by only needing, you know, one of the Slim SAS cables, and you save a little bit by not needing the PCIe part for the Slim SAS. But you're paying an obscene amount for the board and for, you know, the Epics and the RAM and everything. So I'm Ivan Yoon, those are low profile slim SAS. And they do sell low profiles. If that's true, Ivan Yoon, which you probably know more than I do because I'm just trying to research this stuff, is there's not a whole lot of videos and stuff. And that's how I learn, is from watching all you guys on YouTube.
Right.
But they do sell low profile slim SAS. So if that's true, then you could fit 2 on each one, and then you could be running the 4090s or whatever you're throwing on this thing in full 16x. Because that other website, the C-Pain website, does have low profile ones. So yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to figure out. And that's something I'm going to kind of mess around with King, is what's the best setup, right? And I don't know if there's a right answer to that.
There's a lot of variables. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So it's also like, doing the power for this, an 8-card 4090 rig, you need 3 1600 watt power supplies. And then it gets into like, the Omega frames can hold 4, comfortably. But it's like, you have so many points of failure then on a machine. And I know people do it. It's just, like I said, I don't know what the right answer is. And I think that's something that we're trying to figure out. But once you get to this point, it's kind of like it's an expensive lesson to learn if it's not going to work, So
it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. DJ Mines, can't get my 4090 rented ever since I got reported for losing internet. Restarted the rig. Oh, that's interesting.
Reported for losing internet? How does that work?
Yeah. I don't know. I know on Vast, like I have a couple little gear icons that are next to mine, and customers can
only on the verified ones, right? Have you noticed that?
No, I have some on unverified.
Oh, really? I only have on my verified ones.
Okay. Yeah, it just says like, performance is not what was stated, but I think people can kind of just report for whatever they want, and it seems like that they never go away. But that's interesting, DJ. I wonder if can customers see that when they're renting it? Internet outage for a few hours.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I had a problem with Vast. Actually, today I found out. Believe it or not. I had a problem. I got de-verified on one of my machines. Believe it or not.
Huh.
Yeah. So basically it said that I had a port error in red, and he de-verified my machine, but someone was about to rent it. So that just gave me motivation to turning the machine off completely, because it wasn't verified anyway. And I'll take that 3060 and put it into a single 3060 and make it a dual 3060 and make it more efficient. And then basically get it verified, because it'll be a dual. You have a better probability of getting it verified that way. And just taking the RAM and just doubling up the RAM. So it'll be the same exact thing. And then, that's what I'm going to, if I have the time, that's what I'm planning to do anyway.
Yeah.
But de-verified. It didn't. I don't know what the hell I thought de-verified means that like basically like you're done, but you still could rent that de-verified, from my understanding. But I don't know. It's the first time it happened. Because I definitely don't have port issues. I know that for a fact. Yeah. So it's just like whatever. Motivation to change it up. That's all.
Ivan Yoon just tagged. You could run 8 4090 at PCI 4.0 16x. Okay, so that makes sense then with this board. But you're saying many run 14 4090s. I've seen like monster rigs like that. And I guess what you already paid for the overhead, right? That, like I said, the board's expensive, epics are expensive, terabyte of RAM. So, the cost per 4090 kind of goes down as you add 4090s, because you don't really have any overhead for it. It's already there, whether you have someone there. So I mean, it's interesting. Like, because at 14 of them, right, are going to have to be at 8x. So I don't know, because then how do you do the power situation for 14 of them? You know what I mean? Like I know how you do it, but it's server power supplies and stuff like that. But it's crazy. It's
you're just trying to like the least amount of power supplies possible, least amount of point of failures.
Yeah.
You're trying to make it as efficient as possible. Least amount of hardware that you have, the better better off you are. You know.
So yeah, it's
that's that. It's a lot going on. You guys got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So you're heading over there, I guess Friday or Saturday or something like that, right?
Yeah, Saturday I'm gonna head over there, and we're gonna get 2 5-card 4090s up. We have everything for that, so should be pretty smooth. The guy that owns the C-Pain website that I was kind of going back and forth with, he said everything that we got should, work great. So that's good. And we'll see or I guess we'll see when the others kind of roll in. I was talking with P&Y earlier today, and the lead times on these cards are just getting further and further out. So it's I thought we were going to kind of get them all in one batch, but from my understanding now is that they're going to kind of like come in waves, which earlier today I was kind of like pissed off. I was like, why would, what I mean? Like, the whole point is so that we get 50 of them right away, or not right away, but at one time, and can deploy and everything like that, because I think Jarrett was going to come out during that. But it might be better doing it in waves like this, do 2 at a time type thing. Get them, any problems that we might come into, we could deal with it at a smaller scale. So it's
yeah, I agree. I mean, so like, DJ Mines was saying that how he's kind of wasting some watts right now because he's not being rented, but Custom Computing was saying that you need a flux proof of use of work release so we can mine automatically if you're not rented. So yeah, Hash Rico is proof of use of work, much needed, of course, man. So, and Hobbyist Miner, welcome.
Up,
yeah,
Hobbyist?
We need that. I think, from my understanding, I think the beta is coming out soon. Very soon.
Yeah. I've heard a little birdie.
Just saying. I don't know if anybody wants to pop into the chat that knows a little bit more about that, but hear that beta is coming, so stay tuned for that one.
Ivan Yoon, GPURisers, maybe you can run a 2400 watt server PSU. Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people are doing. Just getting the breakout boards for these things and running it that way. And maybe that's a way that we do it into the next phase, right? To be able to do something like this. We did hear from some people in the AI community that the more cards per rig, the more attractive the rig is, right? Like, I know if you look at like single card 4090s on VAST, like the price is going down. I think Max was talking about that earlier. And same with the 2-card 4090 rigs, right? Like the price per GPU is going down, but as you go up, the price per GPU actually goes up. So it's interesting to see. It's let's see, max voltage GPURisers have one person build them out while another person gets the first one up and running. Yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna everything is already built there except for some power supplies that were out of stock, so they're coming in, but everything is built. We just need to connect the cables up from Dave and put the GPUs on there and get these C-Pain risers, these full 4.0 risers. And so once we have all of that, which Friday we should have everything. So Saturday I'm going to head up there, get it going and everything like that. 5 should be good. 5's a good number, but especially with the cards that we're getting now, we could technically just order, 5 more, what's it called? The Slim Sass riser board and use it and cut the 16X down to 8X, I guess, and have, potentially 10 4090s on one of these rigs and keep the overhead the same and just add 2 more PSUs. But I don't know. It's going to be a lot of brainstorming that we have to do on that aspect.
Oh, well, that'll work that way too. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you split it. So I don't know if it's enough RAM. Yeah.
What's the max RAM on those boards?
256, or is it 512 gigs of RAM? I don't remember.
I'm not sure
what we have on it, but yeah, I mean that's an option, right? So we're gonna be placing another order for 4090s. We just don't know when. The lead time on them again is increasing. It's crazy. So you kind of want to get the orders in sooner rather than later, but it's also hard to make a second order in this quantity without having it kind of proved and everything, because this really is kind of a test run for Terra. This is what we're calling our phase 1 baseline compute, 50 4090s, and start with that.
Yeah.
See where it goes. And like I said, I didn't really I know I was talking to Dave about this board earlier, but Ivan Yoon, I'd love to talk to you too, Ivan Yoon. If you want to hit me up on Discord, I'd love to have a conversation with you. You seem really knowledgeable on this. But if those are the low profile slim sasses and we can get, full 16x on these, then this might be the way to go. I mean, there's a reason, right? Like I said earlier, Dave, there's been people in AI for a long time. They've been building these machines for a while. We didn't really notice because we were like, oh, Ethereum. And then even after Ethereum for a long time, it was like, oh, let's mine this coin or that coin or whatever. And we didn't have the hardware for it. You have to have a little bit different of hardware. But there's a reason why these guys are using what they're using. You know what I mean? So it's like, why reinvent the wheel? And, we don't know more than a lot of these people. These people have been through the same, steps and everything like that. So,
yeah, just join the club and just try not to add unnecessary things and just make your profits and make it work.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Blue Dragon Mining back at the facility doing work last night here, leaving tomorrow. Blue Dragon Ben has been at the Kansas facilities for days now. He was actually supposed to leave yesterday, but it's frozen rain or something. I don't know what that is. I'm from Florida, but
frozen rain
sounds beautiful.
You know that.
But it's I think I'm done with the cold weather for a while now. I'm ready for summer to be here. And
are you? You're just ready just to sweat? Man, summer's brutal in Florida, dude.
Yeah. It is, but me. It's not as bad. I mean, right now it's nice in Florida. It's like high 70s.
Man, if it was like that all year round, forget about it. Everybody lived there. Everyone.
Yeah. So
well, San Diego's 70 degrees all year round for the most part. You know that?
Yeah.
I think like median temperature is like 75 degrees, something like that all year round.
Yeah.
It's beautiful over there when I visit. Went to a wedding. It's nice. But yeah, so you guys are gonna be busy on Saturday. You'll have my cables out for those first two setups, and then I'm gonna be sending everything out.
Yeah.
Sooner than later, actually. Yeah, so a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. But thanks for getting that done today, Dave, because we wouldn't have been able to get these things up without it. So
yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not hitting my head too much this weekend on. I don't think it'll be that bad of a setup. I think ittle be pretty easy. So
what do you have?
I've set up that so many times that it should be straightforward. The one thing I was worried about was I thought we were doing like a hypervisor on these things, but we don't have to. So we could just do install it just as if it was a normal one, hoping everything just works. So we shall see.
Well, I mean, you have the whole thing is that you have 4 different types of cables that I made for this build and for all the builds. So I'll have them labeled, or they're all Velcroed together per, and then you could read the ends of the connectors and stuff like that. Put 2 and 2 together. So
perfect.
But if you do get the big launch of GPUs at once, maybe it might go down there. We'll see what happens, but it just looks like you guys are gonna get drips and drabs. So
that's what the PNY kind of told us today. It was that we'll have an update next week, and then with that update, it's likely that they'll come in batches.
Right.
So it's unfortunate, but we were also told that we probably weren't getting these until mid-February.
Really?
Well, they did say end of January, beginning of February. So it just keeps getting pushed back, right? But that's what it is. So it's let's see, Hawk Crypto. I have dibs on the YouTube video for the 50/40/90s. Me and King putting some good content on it. Yeah, I mean 10 are coming this weekend, Mike. I'm gonna be setting those up. So gonna be doing
Just
that.
do a short, Mike.
Yeah,
love shorts. It's my new thing that I do. Shorts.
Geek of all trades. Vistang, it's called Thunder Snow. What the? I know, sounds like a stage name, but it's a weather thing. Welcome to the stage. Up next, Thunder Snow. Oh man, Thunder Snow. Yeah, that sounds beautiful. Maybe Kansas could mix a tornado with it. It could just be like a tornado mixed with freezing rain and everything like that.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So what else? I've just been making cables. I'm just a cable guy right now. Just full of cables. That's what I've been doing. Actually, I'm gonna be doing a video or a short, or I'm gonna try to figure out how I can get this situated, either a short or a video. I'm gonna be repairing a KS0 Pro, because of overclocks. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk a little crypto right now. So all the overclocks out there, and there's a lot of information out there stating that at your own risk, my cable is not going to suffice, the wattage for overclocks. So don't know what you're gonna do. I'm hearing things out in discords that you should just solder wire to this KS0 now Pro. I mean, there's a lot involved when it comes to these overclocks. They're gonna last for a certain period of time, and then, like a customer that purchased a cable, it lasted a whole week. I thought he plugged it in and it lasted for a day. It literally was going on for a week. Now, I'm just being transparent with you guys. I do not condone overclocks. I'm not against it, but I cannot say overclocks will be warranted for my cable. It's that simple. And this is a prime example right here. Nothing really happened to my cable. So I'm being transparent. Nothing really happened to my cable. My cable actually pulled out the center pin of the KS0 Pro. So, to put that in perspective, yes, my cable is perfectly fine for regular KS0 Pros factory settings. Whatever you do after that, I'll know, because I went and I got another KS0 Pro and I started doing some testing. So therefore, I know if you're overclocking or not. So, in a nutshell, I'm going to be repairing this KS0, and then I have another customer on Discord that's going to be sending me a hash board, and I have to fix the 6 pins on the hash board. So I'm going to be doing some ASIC repair, basically. I'm probably going to solder wires for this customer. He wants them soldered on there. So if I can't get a 6 pin, I'm going to solder wires on the KS0 Pro for him and send it back to him. So, he's paying for it and everything else. But, yeah, so that is the story when it comes to those miners. So just be careful. Just be aware of what can happen, man. It's fine. So, like, 100 Air said, not a good idea to run it on 12 volts out at ATX. Well, if you're not overclocking, you're not going to have any problems. I'm letting you know. I have it on a 12 volt power supply, so they're perfectly fine. But when you start basically overclocking them, it's just these barrel connectors can't handle it. That's the bottom line. If you guys could find a barrel connector that could handle like 300 watts or something like that, please feel free to show me. I'm not going to go get an Anderson barrel connector that they're saying that it's rated for a certain amount, when the barrel connector, no one knows what the rating on the barrel connector on that KS0 or Pro is rated for. No one knows. It's a regular barrel connector that's on those machines. So, I mean, I think they did this on purpose, Mike, to be honest with you. I think that Ice River knew that, I'm going to do a little bit of rant. I think Ice River knew that basically there was probably something that was going to be out that you could overclock these machines, and that's why they probably use barrel connectors. It's starting to make all sense to me now, right? That the people are going to burn up their units, and they're going to have to buy a new one or their SOL. So imagine putting a 6 pin on there of how much more you can get out of those units. Why would they buy other units? Why would they buy a Pro when they were just basically mashing like different codes for a regular KS0?
You need a tinfoil hat, Dave. You started.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah. It's just crazy and nuts. Because I always get that $1 million question. How many watts would it be rated for? Factory settings. I'm not even going to tell you a number. It's just factory settings. It's the factory settings on the KS0 and the KS0 Pro. It says it on the box. Don't tell you. They work fine. You have another alternative, and all my customers are extremely happy as long as you're not overclocking them. That's all. There was something over here. Money King. Yeah. Oh my God, King! Don't do that. That's
$50 super chat by Mining King.
It's gonna explode this year. Remember your friends, Dave. I remember all my friends. Everybody's in my chat's my friend. We're all friends here. It says, Hash Rico says, veteran miner, stream is out of sync with voice. Bitrate or something. That's interesting. So my rant, maybe I
Oh,
was
right.
talking too fast, and it's just my computer couldn't pick it up.
Yeah. Ivan Yoon did also say PNY is considered a second tier brand. Most supplies go to first tier, Asus, Gigabyte, and MSI. Yeah, I like PNY. Actually, I did just have a 4090 that I have to return because it's broken, and it was a PNY. But I like the experience of them so far. But we're not there with Terra yet. We still had to sneak into MSI's room at CES. So
I remember that.
once, yeah. So because
Yeah.
we walked up and we're like, oh yeah, can we go in there? They just looked at us like we were idiots. They're just like, because it was all media and like YouTubers and stuff, and we're like, no, we just like we want to go see the cards. And then
Let us in, please.
so yeah, and so we just walked away like, oh well, shit, I guess we're not seeing MSI. And then what was it, Dave? We just walked in. We just acted like we belonged.
I was
there.
like, just keep your head up and just walk straight.
Yeah, and that's what we
I was
did.
like,
We just
"Follow
walked
me,
straight
Mike."
through. We looked over at the person at the front, like the booth, just like they would stop people, and we're just
Man,
like,
stop me. He was like, hey,
We just
TVM, how you doing? I love your cables.
yeah, we just walked
Imagine
straight
that.
in. Like,
I would've
there's no
loved that.
problem, so
That would have been awesome. I didn't get to speak to
But-
anybody MSI, though, because like they were very, very busy, and it looked like
We weren't supposed to be there. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think we were supposed to be there. I think it was like appointment only or something. But
Yeah, but
good
once
experience.
we get to that level where we,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we would jump ship from PNY, but it would be nicer to have a different AIB. That's for sure.
Well,
You
it's
know,
just
PNY does
options.
not-
Just options
Yeah.
in general. That's all it's about when it comes to business. You want to be able. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You want to be able to have options. So let's just say if you happen to have any issues or anything like that. Personally, the only PA1 cars that I ever had was the A2000s. And when I tell you, when I unwrapped those things were amazing. They were amazing looking. You know, it was just, I was very, very happy with the A2000s. Anyway, when I had them. So
they do a lot of data center stuff too. That's
right.
I think what originally attracted us to them, because that was the route that we were looking to go, and we still are going to be doing data center cards and builds like that in our compute division of Terra. But we really just needed like an established relationship with one of these companies. You know what I mean? So that when, just say the 5090s come out and they're good with AI and everything like that, or just say A7000s come out or something, and we want to implement that. We just needed a contact to make a contact, and we don't care if it's weeks down the line. We just want to get in line like we did with the 4090s. Have some kind of point of contact with that, and that's what we have now. We have a really good relationship with them now.
That's it. That's all that matters. Mike, I don't know. Crypto Cray was saying, did you guys make it down to Fremont Street? I don't know what that means. I just followed you guys. Everyone. Yeah.
What, in Vegas?
I think
we were
Vegas.
just on the strip the whole time.
I found a White Castle. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It was just walking distance, really. It was that. The furthest we went was CES, was the Las Vegas Convention Center. We just stayed on the main strip, and it was so crazy there. Just driving anywhere was insane. So we CES is the busiest time for Vegas, except I think the Uber driver was like, except for New Year's Eve, like this is the busiest. So yeah, no. Geek Culture, you would know if you went to Fremont Street. No, we didn't do anything like that. But
well, over 175K people there.
Yeah.
So it was just like 175,000 people extra that don't belong there. That's a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
And you saw it on the streets. It was packed, dude.
It was just slammed. Ivan Yoon, GPURisers, did you approach PNY for H100s? Actually, yes and no. When we first approached them, we were going to go more to the data center route because we weren't really anticipating doing all this open air stuff. But now we're kind of gearing towards open air because we own the data center and we can kind of do whatever we want there. Right? We don't have to sneak these things in server cases. We can zip tie these things to the walls if we wanted to.
Interesting.
But we did originally want, I think it was A5000s or 6000s. The new ADA cards, also the versions of those, get some of those. We're really interested in the A100s, the 80 gig cards. But when we first approached PNY, they said the A100s and the H100s were only for sale to the government. That you couldn't, they wouldn't sell them to consumers and stuff like that. which I thought was kind of interesting. But then after we started talking to them more, and after we made our purchase for the 504090s, they said that if we wanted to, we could purchase A100s and the H100s too, and the H200s. You know, I think those have been announced. The L40S is a popular one right now, from what they're telling us. So, yeah, we kind of. It's hard to beat the performance for price compared to a 4090. You know, 4090 is close to it's pretty much an A6000. Not pretty much an A6000, but it's comparable rental wise, you know, price wise, regardless of what market you're on, or marketplace, but it's twice as expensive. So, and
Yeah,
like I
so
said,
what do you
people
do then at that point on a business standpoint? Like,
Yeah.
what do you do, right? Like, it's the same amount of it's the same amount of money,
Yeah.
and if you're trying to compare apples to apples, it doesn't make, I don't know, to me it doesn't make financial sense to spend double the amount of money for something that does the same thing.
Yeah, unless you have to put it in server cases.
Exactly. That's the only,
And
and
yeah.
unless you cannot use 4090s, right? Then that would be the option. Now you have to pay that premium.
So it's yeah, and if we got the server cases, because we talked with Gigabyte for a little bit, they have the, you know, I think 2nd or 3rd gen epics socket or whatever it is that would be cheaper for us to build out. They're still expensive server cases and everything like that, but you can't put 4090s in them unless you get the 4090 blowers, right? Which if you're doing that, you got to go through, you know, one of those, you know, Shenzhen shops. And with those, you don't get any kind of warranty, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's, I don't know. We kind of weighing a lot of different options on you know, what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? So that's why we have this board up here too, is because it's, you know, we don't
decisions.
We're learning as we go, right? So, the Mining King Vistang said he's building a custom loop 8x4090 rig, all hardline. Oh yeah, for sure. The radiator is gonna be the size. It's just gonna be a car radiator. I'm gonna have right next to the rig. I don't know. I was talking to Dave earlier about this, and if those are full slim SAS and I could connect 2 of them up for each card and I can have 8 on here, I am gonna probably do an 8-card one. I'm probably gonna go cheaper with the epics and,
At 4.0, but
yeah,
not at 4.0.
16x.
4.0 16x, not 4.0 8x, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna do some testing, right? Because I have a bunch of these 2-card 4090 rigs now, and I think only 6 out of the 10 that I have are rented, but the 10th one is not. It's there's only 1 card in it, and Vast still showing 2 cards in it because the one PNY is broken. So I don't know. I don't know what I think what I'm gonna do, because I have some more 4090s on the way. So I think I'm going to take apart 2 of the 2-card 4090s, add it in with the 4090s that are on the way, and maybe build an 8-card one. I don't know. I was talking to Dave earlier about this. I'm probably going to be back and forth with it for a while, but I want to build something that's going to, you know, of course, be profitable and make sense, but also there's not a whole lot of competition, right? That's like a big thing on Vast, is you're competing against everyone else. And that's also something that we're looking at for with Terra, is we want to build rigs that not many people are building, you know, they can get verified and everything like that. Or if we want to switch platforms, we might be able to do that. But kind of building, you know, higher end ones. And I might start doing that with my personal AI stuff. So Mining King, Mike, you can't go down with cards, only up. You need to remake that Vast rig over. Yeah. It's not. It's that rig's not verified. So I honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to keep that one. I might just put it on this Roam board. I don't know what.
You got a lot of decisions to make, Mike.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot going on. Smash that like button though. It looks like it only have like 5 likes. What's up with you guys? Smash it.
Only 5 likes. Yeah.
Only 5 likes. I get it, but just make believe you like it or something. Do something with it. But yeah, so oh man, yeah, that was a lot of work today with all the, you know, with the orders and stuff like that. So Yeah, TD was asking about the cable and stuff like that. Yeah, let's get this off. We'll put this on. Hold on 1 second. We'll put the cable again. Yeah, so basically it's an 8-pin to 6+2 pin, and the 6+2 pin is bridged off to a 6-pin as well. So this is for a specific application. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and then 2.5 feet, all the cables itself. So yeah, it works.
Retro Mike, when I grow up, I want to be spectacular like this thing. Thanks, Retro Mike. We'll both be spectacular in the keys.
Nice. Florida keys. Gotta do that.
It's oh, they're saying you got to refresh your page to see the likes.
Oh, let's see. What is it? Where are we at? Nice. Appreciate all the likes.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody.
Retro Mike, beach farm in the Keys. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it a couple times. Every time I'm going down there, I look at like the electrical grid. I'm like, possibly. Definitely not cheap power there though. I don't know what it is, but I know it's not cheap. Me and my buddies were actually looking at maybe going on a trip soon. We try to go once a year or something like that, and we looked at the Keys, and it's like $900 a night in the Keys, because we're like, oh, flights are from Fort Lauderdale are $80 round trip. It's easy.
Don't you have they have the little dinghy to fly?
It's crazy. Yeah,
you get a boat over there. Couldn't you take a boat over there or something?
We looked. Yeah, you could, but it's expensive staying there. You know what I mean? So it's. And then the boats, yeah. Speaking of boats, the Airbnbs, the only affordable Airbnbs are like boats. And what if 5 dudes are going to stay on a 29-foot boat? And then
that's a
we have
small
to call
fucking
up
boat,
this dude, every time we want to get to shore. That's gonna go well, but yeah, I don't know. It's
well, it's the season right now. That's what it is, Mike.
Yeah, it is. Everyone's down there.
Yeah,
but we were looking pretty far out. We were looking towards the end of March or something like that, because I don't know. I can't really take. I don't want to say I can't take time off from Terra, but it's. We just got a lot going on in the coming weeks, and I kind of have to be available. You know what I mean? So it's
just a little, right?
Yeah. So, but once we get these up and going, it should be good. Our expansion over in Kansas is just going crazy. I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah, I think we're nearing almost 500 ASICs that we're hosting.
Wow.
Around 450, somewhere around that range, and it's. More coming in day over day. And
right.
We had one customer recently that just had a really bad experience with another hosting site and stuff like that. So long story short, they, are moving some of their stuff over to us, and we have just people just interested in hosting, you know what I mean? An honest hosting company and everything like that. And that's kind of what we can offer. So that side's been growing a lot. Very excited about that. Still working on the whole real estate side of that with Terra. The ball's rolling with that. But yeah, it comes down to, I think, just the getting the power with these cities, and it's not just the lowest electrical rate, right? It's being able to get enough power, being able to get power that's not going to be turned on and off. What are the programs called where they I don't know, you can sign up with a lot of hosting companies do this, right? Like ones that promising 8.5 cents or something like that. They have a downtime where the electrical company will turn off they're allowed 10% of all the time that they could just randomly turn off the whole facility and stuff like that. So we don't have that in Kansas, which is nice.
Right.
But there's just a lot. We're already looking at steps ahead. You know what I mean? What are we going to do with this? Because it's a lot of power. There's a lot of demand. And so just trying to figure all that side out of it. So it's been a lot recently, but yeah, it's curtailment, that crypto Craig. Yeah. You can enroll in these curtailment programs, and in return you get a lower overall kilowatt rate. But
But you're mandated to do the shutdowns and everything else, and basically you have to let the consumers know, let your customers know what's going on too.
Yeah. And a lot of these hosting companies don't let their customers know. They kind of just hope that there is no curtailment. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But also, when you turn these machines on and off constantly, you're going to come into issues. With that as well, you kind of want them humming along.
Well, that's spikes for a unit that doesn't need to have spikes like that to turn on and off.
Yeah.
You know, so. But yeah, you guys are doing really well.
Yeah,
it's exciting to see the journey from the beginning too. You know.
Yeah, it's been just smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing, completely.
Yeah. But,
my business stays. You know, I expanded at one point, right, when it was slow, and I'm glad I expanded it when it was slow. I guess it was almost like crypto mining, right? Sometimes you just want to buy up, stuff when nothing's going on, so you're prepared. And of course, now when I took that on, I'm extremely prepared now for the future. And then getting into the gaming world, if everything will work out that way, that's going to be huge for the company as well. Then we also have the gaming world, then we have the ASIC repair that I'm working on that as well. So we have two other things that involve the company right now that I'm working on currently. So you guys will be updated and everything else as I get more information as the weeks go by, months go by, and stuff like that. So moving in the right direction, So I'm very pleased and I'm very grateful for that.
Let's see. Some people are talking about the curtailment. Crypto Craig and Goat kind of hinted at that these companies can make money from curtailment, which is crazy because I didn't know that up until a couple months ago. But you prepay the power, right? So just say you're in Texas and you go to the power company, you can kind of prepay the power. Just say, 6 cents a kilowatt hour, right? There'll be demand times where Texas will need that, the grid will need it, or wherever it is, right? And you could sell that back to them at 3 times the amount. So you could, you could turn off your machines and everything like that and kind of sell it to the companies. I'm probably butchering the explanation of this, but companies Goat said, they made more from curtailment, just these buying and using these prepaid electrical plans basically with these companies than they did with mining, which is crazy. Which is great if it's your own mining farm, right? Because then you could choose.
Right.
But when you're hosting for other people, you can't just play that game really. And some companies I think do play that game. But max voltage, GPURisers, why did you choose the host adapter with the redriver? Is there a limit on cable length for the host adapter without the redriver? I'm sure there's a limit on the cable length. We kind of went with what the average, or not average, what we saw other people using, right? We don't want to reinvent the wheel. But the host adapter with the redriver was a lot more expensive. It was 3 times the amount. So the guy that we were speaking with said that what we did order without the redriver would be fine. You can come into issues with redriver issues with, I think, when you have multiple on there, 8 or 10 or something like that. You don't have to worry about that with this Roam board, but you do with the other boards, with the H12 SSL. So this should work fine. I'm not too worried about it. We spoke with the guy. He said this should be good. So we'll have to see, though, right?
That's all you can do. Just trial and error and make sure everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Max. But I think we'll be okay. It's only 5 cards per, so we should be okay. But we'll have to see. All set. TVM, I look forward to your future project. I hope the CES people keep you in mind. Yeah, you're still getting the stuff from Gigabyte and stuff, right?
I hope so. I mean, that's what they told me. Like I said, I've been really, really busy with customer orders and Terra right now with the orders and stuff like that. But I just have to find a little time to set up some emails and basically get everything situated. they all said they were going to send me power supplies and they're willing to work with me and everything else. So, I mean, I'm sure they're busy from CES too. I'm sure they're getting products out and everything else, especially because, these were the marketing managers that I was speaking to. So that's what their job is. So it wasn't just like, let's just set everything up at CES and see you later. Like, I'm sure they have a lot of things going on too. So when we cross paths again, you guys will know. We have our Wednesdays every Wednesday. So hopefully we'll have an update by next week. Can only hope so. It's already Wednesday, so we'll see what happens. But I can't wait. And maybe a new website or so or two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, getting some updates on that, and we'll go from there. Hopefully the process will be a little easier to use.
Yeah.
So always moving in the right direction, always trying to do something, and make things work. That's all. So what else, Mike? Anything else?
Max is saying, living vicariously through you. Thanks for being the guinea pig. Yeah, it's crazy.
Boy.
Sometimes you just gotta jump into this stuff, right? I mean,
just do it.
That's what I do with the epics and stuff. I'm like, I've never used an epic. I don't know what the super micro is. I don't know what any of this is, but kind of just like diving in and once you prove for step 1, then you go to step 2. But yeah, the redriver stuff, Slim SAS. I mean, it's all just new to us, so
it's a lot.
Yeah. So we should be okay. Like I said, with the setup that we have now. If we're not, then we're not. Right? We'll get the ones with redriver and do it that route. So it's a learning process. That's for sure. So,
well, regardless, you guys can get it all figured out. So that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So it's I'm super excited about this week because we've been waiting for this for like 2 months now. Getting this step going, and this is like a whole different division of Terra, right? Like our compute division, and all this stuff. I know I talk about it all the time on these streams, but the AI stuff really, really interests me. Proof of useful works. I really like that because it combines like 2 of my favorite things, right? Like now I'm really into the AI stuff, but I'm really into the crypto projects too, and that'll kind of mix it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's exciting to get to that point, but we'll see, Dave. I call you every day about it. I'm like,
I know
it's like nuts about it, but
hopefully you don't need another special cable that needs to be made.
I'm sure we will.
Just give me a week.
I'm gonna call you up. I'm gonna be like, look, Dave, we're gonna like daisy chain 8 of these power supplies together. I need you to make some magic cable that puts on. That's what's crazy too, right? Is like the builds that we're doing is not like anything else. You're literally making the cables for them. It's like full custom. You know what I mean? Like other people literally can't do this build with this hardware because they need cables made, like CPU to VGA and all this stuff. So.
You can buy a whole bunch of adapters and just watch it burn up.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I think this adapters. They sell.
They're definitely gonna be one of a kind machines. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
On Omega frame, going old school open air. It's gonna look exactly like a mining rig because it's risers, right? Like it's gonna have these slim SAS things that are going to it, and it's gonna look.
It's gonna look sick.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see all the photos.
Yeah.
All the hard work, you guys putting it together and powering it up. And then plus now we have the adapters too that I made. The 24 pin /2 power supplies. And then I'm gonna do an order and I might actually be able to eliminate your full 24 pin cable to make it even cleaner. Less things in the way too. So yeah. That's what I haven't talked to you about that. I'm saying live online. Yeah, because I know the determination to without the full it's like Jesus. I think it's like 18 pins or 24 on one side, then another 10 or 18 on the other side, of the 16 pin plug.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more than 24 pins basically, but it's in the 18 pin one of the plugs. It's just that's what turns on the unit.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that we could do, especially when I can make any cable to suit needs. As long as it's not a hazard, right?
Or
You
a
know,
little bit of a half. Yeah,
I mean,
let's push the limits a little
that's
bit.
a one 8-pin to 4 8-pins. Split
Yeah.
it 4 times. See what happens. I mean, worst
Yeah.
case scenario, it blows up.
Yeah, worst case. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So,
It's fine.
but yeah, we'll have to. I don't know.
Shit. I don't know. It's gonna be so. You'll get these cables, and you got to do a short or something, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, I don't really do the shorts.
It's
but
easy.
I'll
You just
do
go like this and be like, "Hey, my name is Fistang GPURisers. Check this
Yeah.
out, guys." Look,
Usually, what I do is
wow.
I'll post it on Twitter and tag Terra, and then tag it, and Terra can retweet it or
You
something.
do that. You take nice pictures.
Yeah.
You do take nice pictures. Do a short though. You should show it like, look at all these cables. Man, you're gonna have a lot of cables there, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. What 250 cables? I think is what we.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, more than 200. Yeah, now you have more than 250 cables now.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a lot.
but they'll be used, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the. Yeah.
We'll do short tomorrow and show everybody what 200 cables looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goat is saying he's in interview with VAR tomorrow. What's VAR? Value added reseller. Okay. Oh, with a VAR. Okay. Nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doing big things. Geekable trades.
And all said, I ran those extended risers on my 3090 on that thermal take. Not sure if it was 3 or 4.0. I have issues waking up the PC after sleeping. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. All of this stuff it's so new to me. It's so new to the whole team. You know what I mean?
That'd be good.
But yeah, Mike sent me the picture at like 2 a.m. or something. He was up in Melbourne the other night, and it was with all the ribbon cables connected to these 39s. It looked like a fucking disaster. Like it was just everywhere. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I mean, if it works, right? But it's like, man, it was just, and then of course it starts throwing an error right away, and we're having issues. So,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was everywhere. But
I can picture him just FaceTiming you and be like, Mike, look at this.
yeah. So it's but yeah, it's or what's Retro Mike saying? Best of luck. I leverage lots of VARs for our business needs. Easy way to use, basically do augmented staffing.
Interesting.
Value added reseller, yeah. But looks like Luigi from the restaurant. But yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure you'll get a couple calls this weekend, Dave, on Saturday. Hey, I need this other cable that's made.
Oh God, don't say that. Let me just finish what I got. This was the last of it. I think
we do need to figure out something with maybe switching over to server power supplies. You know, like Ivan Yoon was saying. You know, the more you could fit on a rig, the better. You know, for rental purposes. So.
This is my thing about server power supplies. I could do the connections, no problem. What do you think the weakest link is going to be after that build?
Board.
That breakout board.
Yeah.
The breakout board, it has nothing to do with anything else, but it cannot handle high wattage. It just can't. Those 6 pins will start to brown.
Yeah.
Eventually. It happens to everyone. I don't know what 6-pin that people are using, or breakout board, that they've never had a brownage.
Yeah.
You got to put that in perspective. We've all had it.
Yeah.
So do you want to chalk that up as a maintenance issue that eventually we're going to have to just take these and switch them out? Is it worth it? Because, I mean, you never know if an ATX power supply is going to last forever, right? We all know this. But the ATX power supply is just, it seems a little better. It's just a breakout board. It's not the server. The server power supply is made for that type of work. A server power supply was made to be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's the plus. But these breakout boards aren't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is for it. What do you just add? You know, I guess what if you did 4 1600 watt power supplies in an Omega? You could fit 11 4090s, I think. Well,
I mean, we also could convert like APW7s if you wanted to. I don't know about those things, honestly, but you could use, that's another power supply that you can take in consideration, because I can make 8 pins.
Yeah.
Because I make the cables for those. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You guys will always have a lot of options because I'm around, right?
Yeah.
So we can actually put on ideas and think, oh, well, let's see what this looks like, or, you know, is this cost effective, and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think with 12, because I've seen 12 card 4090s before, and I'm just,
What are they using?
I don't think they have to be using server power supplies, like a shit ton of server power supplies, just daisy chained all together. I don't know how else they would do it. I know that they're not using 4 ATX power supplies that are daisy chained together. So I don't know. It's
Richard Mike's like, Dave, stop telling people about APW7s. I have FPGA ASIC power.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's I don't know. It's someone did, or Mass Boost. Let's design a breakout board that can handle the wattage. Dave and I have talked a lot about
it. We go off topic. We don't think about it for like a couple of weeks and a couple of months, and then we get right back into it. It's just like
full 8-pin ones. You know, just being able to go over, you know, just high quality connectors on, you know, from end to end, basically.
And then of course we have to do a lot of testing though too on them. We do a lot of testing.
Yeah. So I don't know, because what the breakout boards would have to have the 12-pin or the 24-pin motherboard on it. They would have to have CPU. They would have to have. I mean, it'd have to be pretty much everything. And I guess you could do the Dell 2400 watt ones and just do a breakout board that connects with those, because I know breakout boards are a little different, right? Per PSU, like
the PSU is different. Like the 2400 is like smaller.
Yeah.
So you just have to make that compatible for that one.
So it's the problem always with that, and Dave and I, like I said, we've talked a lot about it, is you don't know what power supply people are getting. You don't know if they're getting some 2400 watt power supply that was on a fishing boat. You know what I mean? They're going to connect a breakout board to it, going to have issues,
right?
And you know, because you are literally making the point of failure part. You know, so
the key is the layers, right? So you need the sufficient, like, I'm not a super know-it-all guy, but I know at least this much, that you need a certain amount of layers to basically maintain, and it can sustain the amount of wattage that's coming out of those pins. But you always have to put into perspective that pins are only rated for a certain amount of wattage. Okay, let's just say like the EVGA power supplies, each pin is only rated for 255 watts. Because it's on a big bus with all of the other pins, right? So I'm sure you get a little bit out of it, but sometimes EVGA power supplies melt because you're pulling over the rating of what they say it's recommended for. You know?
Yeah.
Can my cables do more than 255 watts? Absolutely. Right? But we have to go on the standard of what the power supply unit can give out. So I don't know.
Craig is saying he has some server cases with 2600 watt PSUs,
240 volt,
and they have enough pins for 12 cards, loads of cables, and no breakouts. That's interesting. Maybe Craig, you mind sharing like what it is? Maybe like a picture or something like that, because that is going to be an issue going with larger ones, right? Like we can't just keep loading up these 1600 watt PSUs. So
right, this has to be like so Mass Boost was saying the PCB copper thickness can be changed to meet the amperage needs. Right, so you need to know like what is, you know, how much do you need, because it is a board, right? And it's the same thing as like, holy crap, I think like a 4090 doesn't a 4090 have like 24 layers or something? I think a 4090 has 24 layers to make that board. So let's
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, I think it's like 24 layers
Yeah.
to make the board and basically put that in perspective that it has that 12 pin and it's able to receive whatever 450 watts or whatever, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So that's only 450 watts. So imagine designing a board that's supposed to take in 2000 watts, 2500 watts compared to the layers, right? So I think I talk about it with Mass Boost at one point last year or something like that too. It's just there's so much involved, and you know, it sounded crazy when I had to pay so much money for engineering just to do a crimp, right? Just to make sure that this is a crimp, but the people like with Dave, you know, you could just use your hands and you could just make a crimp and it'll work. Yeah, for how long though? Can you pull it out? Is it loose? Like, I don't know. When it comes to me, when it comes to cabling and it comes to like Ohm's law and everything else, you need to get your shit together or you could have a problem. That's all.
Yeah. Let's see, Crypto Craig, how does the existing super micro AI servers deliver power to those 8 GPU AI servers? I think if you're referring to like the 4U or 5U super micro cases, from what we've seen, the older generation has 8 pins on there where you just have like 8 pin to 8 pin, but we did see some of the newer ones have the new NVIDIA 12 pin female right on the wherever the GPU sits. So I think that's for like the A6000 stuff. These 4090s don't fit in there. And in all honesty, like, I'm not 100% on this, but I think if you had 4090s in there, there would be power issues too. I mean, there's so much higher wattage than an A6000 ADA or anything else that you would normally put into a server case. So I don't.
Is it like half the power or something like that, Mike?
Yeah, about.
Yeah, so you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to figure out how to do the power on a multi GPU, because like I said, it's 5 GPUs that we're doing. 2 1600 watt power supplies are going to work perfect for it. You know, we're not overloading anything, and it should be just fine and dandy, zero issues. But
gotta show CryptoFank the cable real quick.
Oh, the splitter cable.
Yeah. So that's the 6+2 pin. That's changed up to the 6 pin right there. And then this is going to the other side, directly plugged into the PSU right there. So it'll be all colored of like how you guys have your how everything's set up, right? With just this color, then this is the Miami Vice color, and so forth. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
good stuff.
What's up, Ovalboard Tech? Crypto Craig, the AI servers are mega expensive even without the cards, like 25 to 30K. Yeah, they are. The new gen are very, very expensive. We talked with Gigabyte that had like older gen ones, which were more affordable, but you're just limited to what you could put in them.
Right.
You know, and if we were like hosting these in a data center, we would have no choice but to put them in server cases like this. But since we just have like this 7,000 square feet of playground, why not do open air if we can use the proper risers and everything like that? But it's but yeah, it's Ovalboard Tech, what's up, man? Reminds me of the 90s food court wax dipped plastic cups. Yeah, it is like it is weird that he got those colors, you know, because they really are the Terra colors, you know, or like the shades.
Not weird. I planned it all out. Planned it all out. I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
deep down inside.
Yeah,
that's the carbon fiber look too. Just to let you guys know. See right there? That's the carbon fiber look, with almost like the teal and the pinkish, and then they have the other color. Well, let's just say the green, right? So they have a full green one and everything else. So it's pretty cool. A lot going on. Oh, you got cables, Mike?
Oh, I got cables. Yeah.
You know a guy?
Yeah, these are just the regular. This is what you were just showing, right?
Yeah.
Is that gonna? I don't do the camera stuff often, but yeah, we got the teal, we got the American flag, and we got the carbon fiber. I got to bring these up to Melbourne, so.
White carbon fiber.
Yeah, that's gonna be like the CPU one, right?
Those are the CPU connections, right? Yeah. And then we have full branded flux cables.
Yeah.
So I think it's a couple of rigs or something like that with the flux. So
yeah. Lots of stuff going on, Dave. Busy. But,
Kurt the Frank said, a veteran. Wait till you see our next order. Your hands are gonna bleed. Mike made my hands bleed today. It was only for 10 cables.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's yeah.
But
at least we're learning kind of what we
yeah.
need. You know what I mean? That's the.
It's fine.
But we do have to all brainstorm on the power situation for 8 of these things. 8 cards on a rig and all this stuff. So.
Well, anything can be made. It's just a matter of we already know the pros and cons in a way about just getting breakout boards. Even you get them from the company, right? That we all know of and everything else. At the end of the day, I just think that we should just keep on working at what you and I were talking about the breakout boards, and we could use Terra as our testing grounds.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I guess, a breakout board that just has all the right connections for it, a thicker PCB board on it.
It has to be a thicker PCB. It has to be layered, and it has to have the amount of copper sufficient to allow the wattage, so the connectors don't melt.
Yeah.
Well, they get brown, right? I mean, nothing ever happens to my cables, right? But after a certain amount of burning, it's gonna take the integrity off of any cable.
Yeah.
Right. A better made cable, it'll last longer, but it's the inevitable once it starts to brown. That's all.
Yeah.
So.
It's
And Crypto Frank said, "Veteran, I see you and me doing a trip to Shenzhen soon." We talked about that. I mean, it's just.
Hey, you guys can go. I'm gonna miss out on that.
I know you're not into that. I'm into it, dude.
I mean,
you would have to go, Mike.
It's not cold.
Oh Jesus!
I feel like I'd get super COVID if I went to China. I've been getting in Wichita, Kansas. I feel like if I went to Shenzhen, COVID would just be in the air and fucking latch onto me right away.
I don't know. It's like a happy medium. Either you get out more, Mike, and you build that immune system up, because every time you leave somewhere and you go somewhere, you get sick.
Well, only if it's cold. If I don't have the warm, humid, salt air to heal my body, then it's
the salt water. It's the salt water air.
China don't they just shoot stuff out of the plants, isn't it? Like they have like plastic factories that it's like basically like a 18-wheeler just straight into like the local children's
parks. They just
parks
fucking burn everything, Mike.
Yeah, they don't care, man.
They probably have a whole bunch of like pounds of arugula waiting for you to eat too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have fresh vegetables. It's not that bad, but it's I don't know, because I've had to fly back on planes with COVID, which I mean I had no other choice, right? Like I had to, I've had to fly back sick multiple times on planes. I can't imagine flying back from China like that. Like I don't know, or being sick in China, like I don't even know how that works, right? Like, I saw some videos on Twitter when all this went down. Do they just weld my door shut and I'm just like stuck in China forever? I don't know. I don't know how communist countries work.
Crypto Frank is saying Shenzhen is only about 50 or 60 years old, right? So don't expect anything clean. It's a city being born and owned by factories.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but factories, right? So you'll find out, like, there's probably like 5 or 10 like major factories that do everything there, right, Mike? And then you have like sub factories that'll just basically do a little bit, or that just do contract, and that's how it's on Alibaba. I mean, it's like it's all the main. You don't have a billion factories doing this stuff, dude. You can't.
I mean, do you really want to know how the sausage is made, though? You know what I mean, like,
no.
Like, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna see over there, but like I've heard allegations and all this stuff, so like maybe it's better just to, I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe you'll buy a factory.
I know it's not that bad. I've seen tons of videos
there.
and pictures, but
I could buy a factory and make wires there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could move there for about, I don't know, a year and train them.
Yeah. Let's see, Max said he had the worst hangover in China on a business trip, and I was getting on a flight that same day. Flight from Beijing to Narita was the worst. Yeah, that's. I don't think I could do it. The workers' apartment buildings are owned by the factory owners, so literally the workers get paid, and then they just pay it back and rent back to the factory owner.
It's crazy, dude. It's a crazy world over there.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to see it. I want to see, like, I don't know.
I do want to go to like Hong Kong and stuff. Like, I really want to do that. And then I'll go to Shenzhen for like a day or something. You know what I mean?
Half a day.
See
that's
how
all we need.
made,
That's all.
and then roll back to Hong Kong. But I don't know.
It's going to be expensive because we definitely have to fly first class because we'll die in a regular seat, I think. I don't even know how long the flight is, dude. I'm sure it's long.
Just take a boat over there. Yeah.
I mean, we could hop a ride on a vessel. Take a couple of weeks.
We could make a whole trip out of it. We could just make pit stops in Hawaii and then Bora Bora. then we could go to Japan. And then we could go
fucking
to
cruise
for a day.
It sounds like a cruise.
Yeah. I don't know. It's don't
Jesus.
forget the nets on upper floors to catch people who don't take another Monday, who can't take it. Yeah, that's not good.
Jesus.
But
I don't know. That's another way to build relationships and know where, if you need to get some parts or materials, stuff like that, you know exactly what's going on, right? Because there's a lot of just shady stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when I was getting resistors, like I tell you, I was making resistor packs for the RC car world because I've always been in electronics, and I ordered and they took my 400 something bucks. Like, nah, you're good. Yeah, so you gotta be careful.
Yeah. Retro Mike is saying Keys, Hawaii, Bora Bora. Yeah, you're starting to get the trend of places where I won't get sick. I just need the ocean's healing. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I'd go to Shenzhen. I'd go to China, but I'd need to like take all these proactive things. What's it called? Counterattack or something?
No.
Mike told me about that. And then all these vitamins. I don't know. I'd have to like. I don't know. I can't be sick flying back on a plane from China.
Oh my God! Imagine just coughing up a lung.
Yeah.
They might take you and kill you on the plane.
Yeah. Geek of all trades is saying no Alaskan cruise in your future. Nope. I used to think that like, oh, I got to see all these places before I die, right? Now it's like I have 4K YouTube. I'm just gonna, or maybe I'll just buy, instead of going on a vacation, I'll buy one of those Apple headset things, and I'll just lay outside here. It's 75 degrees and just be on a Mount Everest. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
So what are you saying, Mike? You live vicariously through the internet now.
Cold places,
yeah. That's it.
Like they're cool to look at. I don't know. Like I live in South Florida now for anyone watching, but I can't live here permanently. It's like the people down here are just awful. But they're just like the worst. But it's I don't know. But the climate, it makes sense. I could go north a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I always kind of thought like the Carolinas, you know, because like it's still kind of hot.
It's nothing here.
Well, like, you know, Nashville, Raleigh, like that area. I went to Virginia a couple times. Actually met Craig up in Virginia. It's a beautiful area and just nice people, right? I don't know. So, but I can't live somewhere too cold. No, I'm gonna have to watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's Mining King. New York was great, very warm. Yeah, I bet Mining King. It looked like a snow flurry. I'm learning all these different words. Like I was talking to Ben earlier today. I'm like, how beautiful is out in Kansas right now? And he's like, it's frozen rain. I'm like, okay, and Ben was cold. Ben went and got a space heater. If he had to go get a space heater, I wouldn't be able to leave the Airbnb. Like I wouldn't be able to. I don't know.
Mike's like, no, I'm not leaving.
I'm also just not ready for it, right? Even leaving Vegas, dude, I almost ate shit at the airport. Because I walked on, I thought it was water, but it's ice. This is frozen. And there's like the one spot where like water was falling off from the roof. And there's like a million people at the airport. And I just like, I don't know how I didn't fall, but I was like sliding everywhere. It was like a movie scene. I was sliding everywhere. I pull my back out, and I'm just like, I guess people just, if you live in those areas, you just know that, right? You're like, that's probably frozen. It's probably super slick.
Freaking Floridian doesn't know any better. It gave me a headache, Mike. You know that. I had to go buy a freaking snow hat or something. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm getting a headache with this cold. It's giving me a freaking headache.
Dry. It's just, I don't know. I always say the same thing, right? Like, I don't know how, like, when this country was founded, right? Like, there's no like Google Maps or like weather. You know what I mean? People were just traveling with horses and diseases, and they just settle up in these places. They're like, hey, it's freezing here. Like, people are dying because it's so cold. If we can't start a fire, the whole village is gonna die. Let's just make a state capital here or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that's. I don't know. I would just keep going south. I would probably, you know, if I was back in that era, I'd probably end up right around like south of Mexico, wherever the equator is.
Greta Frank is like, it's like people coming to Florida and swimming in lakes. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Just one little brain amoeba, but it's
just a little one.
Yeah, I don't know. I always kind of think maybe moving out of Florida at some point. Go somewhere with cheap power, right?
You might move out. I might move in. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Have to see, but
time will tell.
I'm traveling a lot now, so I'm seeing, you know, everything.
Yeah, we're going to China apparently.
Staying on the Oregon Trail. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be the guy in the group that you wouldn't want there. Like, as soon as it starts snowing, I'd be like, nah.
It's like, I need to go back home.
We're going the wrong way, guys. We gotta go back to that mountain range here. It's like, I don't know.
Oh man. So let's wrap this up then, Mike. Basically, we're gonna have it on your channel next week, and hopefully we'll have some good news about setups and cables working, and no more new cables for the time being. Should be okay.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of updates. So
so that's gonna be good then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have anything else?
Nope. That's everything. Just
everything in a nutshell, huh?
Yeah, that's everything for me this week.
It's okay. Good. All cut up.
But thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you guys next week, right?
Yes, definitely. Wednesday. On Vistang's channel. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you on Vistang's channel next week. I appreciate you guys. Be safe. Have a great night.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Later.